Hey everyone, this is a day in the life video of living in an A-frame cabin without electricity or running water. Sounds scary, and I've been doing it for about 4 months now, and I have to say, it's really not that bad. This video is going to take you on my daily routine in the cabin and how I get around things like not having a shower and not having a bathroom. Going into this project, I knew that my entire budget was going to be blown once I had the basic structure up. But from being a climber my whole life, I knew that I could live with, fairly little. I've lived in vans and my car before, so I wasn't too afraid of how to get around all the other things. This winter, I've been sleeping up here in the loft space. I have a memory foam topper that I just folded in half that acts as my mattress. A twin bed would not fit up in the loft. I use a sleeping bag, a little mummy bag, and I put two on top of that. Even when it's like 20, 30 degrees, I stay pretty warm. I really like the cold while I'm sleeping. So right now, I don't run any sort of heat during the winter because you can always just layer up. When it gets a bit warmer, I definitely will be running a little portable AC unit I have. I power that with a gas generator, which I bought from Costco for around $800. I would love to have a solar setup or like one of those solar generators, but right now it's just not something I can afford. It was a really nice 50 while I was filming. And here's my little living room area. What I'm sitting on is a climbing crash pad. It's for bouldering. Doubles as my couch. And I have all my clothes in a World War II era footlocker. It's a little musty and sometimes my clothes get a little stinky, I think, but I really like it. I sold quite a bit of my worldly possessions when I moved into this cabin, but for full disclosure, I still have a storage unit off-site. And if you've seen in the background, there is a giant dilapidated white trailer to where I store most of my tools and supplies. So I do like to keep it very minimal in the cabin and just kind of have my mess elsewhere. You've probably noticed that I don't have a bathroom in the cabin. This was intentional. I just felt like I didn't want to cut up the space. I really like the open feel, and I always planned on putting some sort of outhouse structure right where I'm relieving myself around this area. A simple and elegant solution for going number 2 and showering is join a gym and use their facilities. I go to the gym about every morning and I get a good workout. But I have to admit, there's those mornings that you wake up and you know what I mean, you just gots to go. So right now, before I build my little outhouse, this is all I do. I've got a 5-gallon bucket, some cheapo kitchen bags, and a toilet seat I got from Habitat for Humanity. Voila, man, that's my throne. It works. But just a warning, coyotes love human poop, supposedly. I learned that the hard way. If anyone has any ideas on toilets, I'm looking into like composting toilets, but I'm open for anything. Please leave a comment. I'm sure you could probably tell, but I have no running water. And I don't have any kind of like water storage system other than a 5-gallon jug and a 3.5-gallon jug. I fill these jugs up with, fresh drinking water. Any grocery store, they have the little things. I think it's like $1.25 for 5 gallons. Everyone keeps telling me to get one of those 10,000 gallon giant things. But I don't know. So far, just having a water jug, it's been totally fine. But I do want to do some kind of like water catchment system off my one side of my roof. I think that would be a really cool project. Cooking in the cabin is simple and easy with this little 1-burner camp stove I have. My first stove caught on fire and almost lit the cabin on fire and burnt it to the ground. I shouldn't have bought a used one, but lesson learned. This one runs on butane. I'm really happy with it so far. I don't have any sort of refrigeration, so most of the food that I consume is either canned or top ramen. I eat out a lot more than I care to admit, but I'm trying to get a little bit better. And, especially when you're trying to save up money for, building out some land, peanut butter and jellies are your friend. Making more gourmet camp meals is 100% something I want to get into in the future. But for now, we're going with the Campbell's Chunky beef and vegetable soup. I know one simple solution would be to just buy a cooler and fill it up with ice, but I don't know. I just don't like the idea of anything that especially is going to cost a little bit of money each day. I'd rather just buy the food fresh and cook it that day. And so yeah, it's definitely changed my buying habits for now, but eventually I will hopefully have some sort of small little camper refrigerator. But this works fine for now. I love to eat on the little pallet deck any chance I get. Just hanging out here and looking at the mountains is, a huge reason why I love living out here. Just the peacefulness of it all. And, it makes even like a very salty soup taste very gourmet. Cleaning dishes without running water can be a little bit of an art. I like to I didn't have any paper towels left. I was using some toilet paper, just wiping out all the excess, then putting a little dish soap, water, scraping it with a sponge, and then washing it all out. Usually I just let it air dry during the day when I'm out doing things. I know I mentioned earlier I don't use a heater, but I did find this at the thrift store, and it looks like a huge fire hazard, but I'm going to keep it just in case someone visits and they're really susceptible to the cold. We'll try to turn it on. And this was my AC unit that I have in storage for now. There is no trash pickup service where I live, so every day or two I pack out a little bag and usually just drop off at some random business's trash can. I highly dislike using my gas generator. It's loud, it's annoying, and it costs money. My Prius, turning all the accessories off, I can power all my devices at night and use virtually no gas because it'll just run on the battery. This inverter is great. Charged all my power tools, and I charge my phone and all my little headlamps and everything in this car, and it's perfect. I wanted a truck, but I am happy I went with the Prius. For lighting in the cabin right now, I have these solar string lights that I got from Costco. They work perfectly fine, but I always wear a headlamp at night because they are very dim and more like a mood lighting. A really fair question I get asked quite often is why? Why do you choose to live out here in this little cabin? And there's a lot of reasons, but one of the main ones is that I love rock climbing, and usually climbers, to live that lifestyle, to climb full time, you need to find a way to live very cheaply. Now that I have no rent, utilities, I have a lot more money to just kind of hang out, train, and work at the things that I really care about, and not just paying a mortgage. For me at this point in my life, it just makes sense. Life happens outside, outside of your shelter. To me, this is just a shelter that I really love, but I try to spend as little time here as possible. Most of my time, I want to be in the mountains. That's where I want to be. I like the design because, I can kind of train in my cabin on the rainy days. But yeah, that's just me, and I don't expect anyone to feel the same way as I do. But if you are one of those people, I just can't recommend it enough. It does get lonely, and I'll probably never get a girlfriend living out here, but it's okay, man. I love it out here. And I appreciate you watching my video. I hope it was helpful in some way. Please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're psyched, and have a good one.